been a great addition to the offering here at Hampton Downs this weekend. And this is classes 1 and 2, so the premier offering, if you will, the quick cars, because we have so many of them here at Hampton Downs this weekend. We've kind of divvied things up and split the classes. We saw 3 and 4 a little bit earlier, but we have got some very fast machinery in this one.
Yeah, definitely. The cream of the crop's probably Kerry Jones there, Greg. I think he got down to 35s in the last race with a fresh engine change. So not bad for an overnighter.
Keep an eye out for young Ben Stewart in the 133. So a Nissan, but V8 power plant. This youngster, this teenager who's gone in relatively recent time from karts to a stint in an RX-8, now with 500 odd horsepower underneath the right foot, and he in wet or dry conditions has adapted really well, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely, and he's loving the horsepower, mate. He said nothing's been like it since he's driven. He goes, these things are crazy. You know, you line up on the grid and you think, you know, go-kart racing, you see a whole lot of go-karts in front of you the same, RX-8's the same. He said you line up on the grid and you're going, am I in the right race?
There he is in that orange machine there. I saw his dad. His dad's very proud, very passionate, and man, do you do a double take when you see Ben walk up for a chat with you, because he's just so young still. So, right, away we go. But worth reinforcing for our audience that we stagger things. It should be a crazy run to the finish.
It certainly will be. So you'll see the cars get fired off in order here, and this is what we call our handicap race. So, for instance, if Kerry Jones is 10 seconds faster than the car at the front, it's a 6-lap sprint race, so he starts 60 seconds behind him.
Okay.
So theoretically, if the maths is good and they do their lap times, they should all come charging over the mountain at the same time.
Were you good at math at school?
Not really. That's why I'm doing the commentary.
You do a very good job in engineering, I know that much, and you enjoy a steer from time to time. Nice to have you with us in commentary for this one. So the Mitsubishi gets released.
And the mixture of cars here, we see all the Honda boys. He's actually jumped up from GT3 into GT2 for this one. So he's made the promo. So he'll have the hammer down here to DNF in the last one. So he'll be loving moving up into the fast boys.
We had that awkward scenario as the Hyundai takes off as well, the BMW and one of the Nissans. It had to be wheeled away. We were sort of semi-delayed with the start, weren't we? So shame, but great to see it running so well, that Honda now at the start here.
Yep, a 50-cent plastic fuse. They put a new one in it, and away it goes.
Crazy.
Crazy stuff. Part of the joys of home building, mate.
In fact, I said Nissan, I meant Honda to the right of your screen. That is a beautifully prepared car, the 52 as well. Sounds magnificent. Look at the work that's gone on, even in the design of the front splitter. Yeah, and their little aero bits and pieces they put on there, little turbocharged Honda, 6-speed sequential. Everybody seems to be sequential these days. I don't know if anybody knows what an H-pattern box is anymore. Mega. So John Midgley gets away. Now, is there a problem here for Kerry Jones? I haven't spotted his car yet. See him go. We would have thought that he would set off around the same time as Midgley. There you go. He's away now. Yeah, we can see the NASCAR sound heading down the front straight here between the buildings. So many of them right the way down the grid, so I couldn't actually spot it from our position here in the commentary box, but he's away, so that's good. So watch for the 19, the former Super Touring Falcon, in the hands of John Midgley with a lot more horsepower. You may have seen it in the Endurance Championship here in New Zealand in recent years, and then also that magnificent Corvette with the NASCAR engine. Kerry Jones at the wheel, beautiful blue scheme, but they have all the hard work to do through the packs. It's about to get busy. These guys were the ones we were kind of cheering for toward the end of the race earlier today, weren't we? Definitely. Simon Barry was the last race winner, so he'll have the bit between his teeth to try and charge on here and catch these guys. Nick Jones beside him may have had a little bit of grief in the last one. Oh, very close to touching then, so Nick will be trying to hang in there. The important thing here, Greg, is you've got to do your lap times. If you muck around and don't do your lap times, you won't make up your handicap time. So very important not to get held up and to do the fastest times that you do of the weekend. Now, was it Shane in the 17 that had problems last time out, or was it a different Falcon? One of them had a little bit of some issues, and they managed to get it to the line. In fact, it was the 77, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. He's got so much spare time on his hands. He's built 2 cars, so he runs in both categories. So he was having engine failure. He said he had no power. Can't believe it made it to the end. There you go. Don't just go racing once, take another car and go twice. Yeah, if you built one good one, you might as well have a crack again. That's fantastic. GTRNZ is what you're watching, brought to you by Tradezone, and you can find out more about the category by going online, just looking up the GTRNZ.co.nz website. They're on Facebook as well, and it is a wonderful formula. If you like cars and you are particularly fond of a certain mark, you can go and basically create a little something, so long as it's based around production machinery.
Definitely.
But then have a bit of fun on the engineering side, and that's what we've got in this class.
Yeah, all about building it yourself. You can go buy a professionally built car and bring it to the grid. As you see, there's some Super Tours and stuff that run with us as well. So if you're more of a driving man, just want to buy one off Trade Me and something and line it up on the grid, it's open slather, mate. Back
to our race leader, and Shane's got a nice advantage here at the moment too. So 9 seconds. There you go. You can see Ben in the background there. And we do probably need to make the point that I think we've got, you know, the class differences to think about within the overall group here. Yeah, that's definitely right. So as you see, the GT1 guys we make it as hard as possible for them. They're the fastest cars kind of in the country here in this group. And we always make them start from the back. To give the GT2 guys a shot at the title. So as you see, it mixes the racing up too. We'll see a few laps here where you're going, what's going on? But as it comes together with 2 to 3 laps maybe to go, we'll see them starting to bunch up. Marvin Towers, so at the moment doing a good job in that MG in 4th position, car 112. There you go, bottom of your screen, and there is a connection between Marvin and Tradezone, obviously, who are some great supporters of this. Yeah, so he's been great in bringing them on board as well. So Kerry Jones now with the fastest lap of the race, 1:35.631. Still down in 16th place, as you can see on your timing, with 1:10 to recover with 4 laps to go. But over 12 seconds a lap quicker than our leader, Greg, so he may just pull this off. Okay, so maybe the numbers of, here he is, on cue, went away and bolted a NASCAR engine in overnight, as you do. Sweet sounding and looking machine. Definitely is a bit slow off the line. I actually thought he would have started with Midgley or somewhere around that. I wonder if he stalled it and had to start it again, and that's why we missed him taking off on the grid. Okay, so great sound from that car, and keep an eye on the gap down to a minute. So he is closing. So as you rightly point out, with 3 to go. Now down to 44 seconds, so he's coming at a rate of knots as the timing updates. It happens very fast. As we worked out, we thought he might have needed 60 seconds or maybe 30. You know, if it's 12 seconds a lap, 30 seconds, he should be right there. Stewart's in 13th, but remember, he's in a different division, so Class 2 in that 133, so... Definitely, you can see on the windscreens the cars have actually got GT2 on them and GT1 as well. So if you get mixed up which is which, just pay close attention to the windscreen and your class identity numbers. As you see on the top, there's a little GT2 and the GT1 cars have 1 on them. There's Andy Duffin. I thought he might have been... Oh, actually, they're boxing up now, so we should see some action shortly, Greg. Most definitely. Midgley in the background, and there you can see looming, just coming through turn 1, Kerry Jones. So with 2.5 to go, this is starting to heat up. Look at that, an RX-7, a Trans Am, and an ex-old looking touring car. The Trans Am in question has actually got a bit of history about it too, doesn't it? It has. It's got nicknamed Iron Mike years ago because nobody could beat it. It's that cool white machine that immediately transports you back to kind of the 90s period when Stephen Johnson would come over from Australia. Craig Baird was a part of the mix. There were some great names around in that phase, fantastic series. There's still a few cars in the country too, which is grouse to see them out racing. Todd Bickerton, who you will regularly see in the 86 pit lane, great engineer and car builder. He's actually the man who was responsible for building this car for Mark Petch from memory back in the day. So cool story, and nice to see that some of the people that have an attachment to it are still around. It looks like it's just staying out the way of a couple of the cars that are making their way through the field. In the back of the shot there, Greg, you could see Kerry Jones as our race leader comes around turn 1. He had just come out of the hairpin and he'll be coming like a rocket. As these cars get bunched up, their lap times will drop off as they try to sort themselves out, and Kerry will be loving it as he comes up the long front straight. Stewart enjoying the battles. We go back to the front. That's what's going on between 2nd and 3rd respectively. So Jessen now getting by in car 9, Brad there for 2nd place. Yeah, Evo on Evo. We haven't seen car on car for the whole race so far, so we actually got 2 brands racing each other that could potentially take this out. So Shane Haitana has a 23.9 second advantage. 1.5 laps left to go, where we look back to the likes of Midgley, 45 seconds back at the moment, but Jones is up into 7th place.
And I think the Honda's run away with this. He stepped up from GT3 into GT2 and picked up a whole lot of pace. Moving upper class has obviously got him going a bit quicker.
So I'm looking at the wrong Jones there. It's 84 is down in 16th. So there's our race leader.
Yeah, the other Jones is Nick. It's actually Kerry's son.
There you go. I'm glad it's the number. It's the wrong way around.
Yeah. He's just coming up here. Oh, very close, trying to stick it up the inside of the BMW. Things are starting to get a bit more congested now as we head up towards the hairpin.
Not much time left to run in this one. GTRNZ classes 1 and 2. Final outing of the weekend. We've still got some great things to come your way in our coverage as we build up to the big one this afternoon. The New Zealand Grand Prix. Stay with us, whatever you do. Midgley and Jones gently trying to weave their way through this battle pack.
I think it's almost horsepower time, isn't it? As we head onto the straight here, I think you'll see Kerry Jones blast past these guys. Midgley gets loose, gives Kerry Jones a bit of a squeeze as we come up the straight. Oh, he's had to back out of it. Well,
didn't want to go too close to the pit entry line there, so awkward congestion.
And Kerry Jones straight round the outside in the Trans Am with the superior grip.
Onto the back straight now. Last lap board on display here at Hampton Downs. Midgley looks down the inside. Oh, the opening might be better for him there compared to Jones. Jones looks kind of boxed. Midgley gets through. Oh, no way! That's awkward. That's awkward. Somehow arrests the car, the speed, and it doesn't go pear-shaped. How did that happen?
Great driving, Midgley, mate. Picked the right side of the track. Kerry had nowhere to go. Had to evade on the passing down the left-hand side, and under brakes, very close under as we head down to turn 2.
These two are not making enough in the way of inroads here, unfortunately. So Shane Haitana might, in fact, do this with such an advantage over Brad Jessen, 25.7 seconds. There's our race leader.
Miles in the lead.
Cool story because it was, you know, heads down and bottom lip out, understandably, because they had to wheel this car away in that pit entry road before the start of the last race. So some dramas. Great comeback.
Definitely, mate.
Checkered flag, and he takes it.
Fuse and a win. How good's that?
Great work. Takes it out. Meantime,
Kerry Jones is off grid. He's gone around the hairpin and gone clean out into the gravel track and back onto the track. Can he get Midgley?
Jones using all of the dipper and then some in the pursuit here. They won't get there, but it's been certainly entertaining to watch, that's for sure, as they head to the finish line of this one. Look at this. And the boss from Tradezone getting kind of swamped at the end of the MG.
Kerry Jones right around the outside of everybody. I think he might snuck past, did he?
I think Kerry got to 10th in the end. Well done, John Midgley to 9th. But it's Shane Haitana in the Honda. The little Honda takes it out. David and Goliath stuff. And after, what did you say, a 25-cent part, replaced it, and he comes back for the race win. Cool stuff. We recapped the results for you on the Super Sprint scoreboard from Brad Jessen. We'll confirm that for you. Marvin Towers, I thought, was a little further down than third, but it was a close run to the line, wasn't it? I mean, if that's how it's finished, that's photo stuff. Look at it. We're talking hundreds of seconds in that fight for third. Cool result if he got there.
Oh, perfect, mate. The handicap is bang on the money. As we said at the start, it's going to be a drag race to the finish line, and that's exactly what happened.
Amazing. Midgley to 9th, Kerry Jones to 10th. We take a look at some of the others in the field, some of the early and front-running drivers, we should point out. Ben Vanderwerf and Todd Murphy and co. Cool cars in this field, and great that you will be joining us for other rounds to come as the tour continues.
Definitely, mate. Look forward to it.
Look forward to it. So why don't we take a look at some highlights for you of the final one of the weekend. Nice start by this man in the Integra and got on with the job from the very back of the grid. Kerry Jones had to work his way through and used all of that V8 muscle. Bit of an Evo battle going on here.
A little bit of dirt tracking. The boys are pushing on hard. Last race of the weekend, they're definitely trying to use them all up, that's for sure.
And here, with that handicap start, they would eventually get by Ben Stewart. Then this.
Oh, how close is that?
So close. I thought Jones was in all sorts of trouble in that Corvette, but pulled the car up just in time. And then this, out of the dipper. Untroubled on the run to the line. Shane Haitana taking it out. Congratulations. Final one.